Good morning, everyone. So I'm really excited. I've had this paper in my notebook for a while now because I go through periods where I feel inspired and I write down all of the things. And I have 10 things you need to know before you get a puppy. And I decided that starting today, I'm going to go live every day for the next 10 days and go over with you the 10 things I think are most important that you need to think about and know before you decide to bring a puppy home, and just know. So not necessarily like that goes into deciding whether you get one or not, but like which puppy and where do you get them from, and how much money do we need to invest and how much time, and what's the grooming going to look like. So we're going to go over 10 things that I think you need to be aware of and think about before you bring your puppy home. So today, number one, we're going to go over breed. So you can get a purebred dog if you want. You can get a dog from a rescue, a shelter, wherever you want to get a puppy, there are options. What I want you to think carefully about today is what breed is going to make sense for you. So, dogs have been selectively bred by humans for thousands of years to do specific jobs. So if you see a cute little puppy and you adopt them because they're adorable, and then you realize that they were bred to pull sleds, and you want them to relax and be a couch potato with you, you guys probably aren't going to have the most harmonious life together. So you need to think about and do a little bit of research. So I am not an expert on all of the dog breeds. I've got a little book over there that reminds me, and I use the internet just like everybody else does. So Google, what were Bernese Mountain Dogs bred to do? What were Cavalier King Charles Spaniels bred for? So that if you think that you like the look of a dog, what were Huskies bred for? That can give you a good insight into what their personality is going to be like. Because there are a lot of websites out there that are like, every dog's a great dog. And they can downplay some of the negatives. But you really need to know going in, what is this dog really going to be like? Huskies have a ton of energy. They are escape artists. They are smart. So they also have pretty high grooming needs. You don't shave them like the poodles, but they have a thick undercoat and they need brushed a lot. So just because you think a dog is cute, unfortunately, is not a good reason to choose that dog to be the next member of your family. We want to make sure that they're going to mesh well. So, yes, think about, and we're going to go into more details on pieces of this, but what your dog was bred for, and I'll go through some examples. I have a German Shepherd. So Shepherd, they were originally bred to herd sheps, and so they work well with their people. So they are the type of dog who's like, what do you need me to do? They're checking in with you, looking for feedback. They also do a lot of police work now, and they have been guard dogs. So they are bred to be a little wary of strangers and like alert to their surroundings. So that's what you get into if you have a German Shepherd. They're normally wonderful dogs. I'm very happy with mine. But if you have to be aware of what their genetic tendencies are so that you can train against that to either bring out what you want to see or tamp down what you don't want to see. Great Pyrenees. Those are a livestock guardian dog. So they would live outside with the sheep, and any coyotes that came to mess with the sheep, the Pyrenees would run them off. So these dogs are very independent thinkers. They don't need a human around to tell them what to do. They know well enough. So they tend to, they're independent. So they aren't constantly checking in with you. They're more likely to wander and sort of ignore you. They can be wonderful, cuddly. I've worked with a few of them. But yeah, they're definitely more independent. So if you want a dog that wants to sit on your lap all day, that's not going to be a Pyrenees. One, because they're giant, and two, because that's not them. That's not what their genetics tell them to do. You've got Australian Shepherds. These dogs are active, and they, again, are a shepherd, so they would herd the sheep. Since they're smaller, they herd them by biting the sheep's legs, snapping at the sheep's legs. So a lot of people complain that their Australian Shepherds herd their children and are snapping at them. And of course they don't like that. Nobody would like that. But when you tell that to a trainer, we're all going, yeah, and like, did you not expect this to happen? This is the breed that you chose. So you need to be aware of what's likely to happen. And then, yeah, if you get an Aussie and you've got 4 grandkids that visit regularly, then from day one, you need to be tamping that down. You need to be showing your pup what you want. Because, yeah, if you call me when they're 2 years old, I'm going to go, okay, well, you're fighting genetics and we're doing it late. So that's hard. What others? Cavalier King Charles Spaniels. They're one of my favorite dogs. I grew up with Brittany Spaniels. So Cavaliers, they are a bird dog, or they descend from bird dogs, which means that, they tend to, like to watch the birds and the butterflies, and they're little happy-go-lucky little dogs. They have some energy to them. They can run around with you, but also pretty much all bird dogs, I think, make pretty good family dogs. And yeah, while they descend from bird dogs, they don't have like really strong hunting lines in them, so they make a really good pet. I'm a big fan of Cavalier King Charles Spaniels. I think I'm gonna get my parents one next. I've been telling them this forever. I don't think they really take me seriously, but one day there's gonna be a Cavalier King Charles puppy in their home, and they're gonna have to have it. And if they decide not to, I'll take her, of course. Giving dogs as gifts is not a good idea, but it's me. I'm a trainer, so I can do it. Okay, what other dogs? Popular ones. I mentioned Bernese Mountain Dogs. I don't know them in and out. I know that I've seen a couple Bernese or Bernese mixes that have resource guarding. So that's something to be aware of. Poodles. So everybody's getting something that's doodle-fied mixed with a poodle. Poodles are bird dogs as well. So they were like pointers, retrievers. So they have the smarts. I think they've been voted like one of the smartest dogs. So they like to interact with their people. So yeah, if you think what dogs are doing, bird dogs, so the hunter has the gun and is looking around, and they tell the dog to go into the bush and get the birds to fly up. So there are some dogs that like point, they find the bird and all they do is point, and then the hunter like kicks around in the brush to get the bird to fly. Those are just your pointers. And then you have dogs that will flush the birds too. So they will find them and then they'll go in the brush and kick them up so that the hunter can shoot them. And then of course, once the hunter shoots the bird and it falls, you have a dog that goes and finds the bird and brings it back to you without eating the bird between picking it up and bringing it to you. So yeah, you've got like pointers and retrievers are the two different types. But those dogs, again, just like the shepherds, they are looking at their humans and they are like taking feedback from them, or they're supposed to. So they tend to make better family dogs just because they're less independent, and people want the dogs to love them and to need them. And like, yeah, your Huskies, Akitas, livestock guardians, your Pyrenees, Anatolians, they're like, no, I can do this on my own. Yeah, I don't really need you. So, yes, golden retrievers are, of course, the retriever part of that. They bring the bird back to the hunter. Poodles, Vizslas, German short hair pointers, English setters, those are all like the bird hunting dogs that I like so much because I grew up with them. Labs are another retriever, of course. They tend to do more ducks. So yeah, these are all breeds that take guidance from their people. They work closely with humans, so I think they make really good pets because they like being with people and they like learning from them. So there's a really good bond there. So Yes, all of this, just some examples of what to think about when you get when you're thinking about getting a dog. So, and maybe go through the shelter. I'm all for adopting. I'm also not against purchasing dogs from a reputable breeder. The problem is finding that reputable breeder is tricky. But yeah, if you're walking through the shelter and you see a cute little puppy, but it looks, and it looks like a husky, and you know that you don't like husky characteristics, then you should probably find another dog. And sometimes it's hard to tell what they look like. The shelters were going to label everything lab mix because labs are desirable. So it can be tricky to find just the right dog. So breed characteristics are going to tell you some important things about them, but also every dog's an individual. For every husky that runs off, you'll find one who always stays in no matter what. And for every Cavalier you find that is cuddly, you'll find one that's standoffish. So it is a mixture of finding the right personality in the breed and also choosing a breed that is going to mesh well with your family. So yeah, if you run a lot, you want a dog. Any smushy face dog, pugs, even Cavaliers sort of get classed into that smushy face. Bulldogs, pugs, those dogs cannot exercise. We have bred them so that their faces are messed up and they can't breathe. So if you want to jog with a dog, you can't get a smushy face dog unless you put them in a stroller. So think about those things. Yeah, if you want are a jogger, get a husky, get a shepherd. You have to wait until they're old enough to exercise for the growth plates and things. But yeah, think about what do you want to do with your dog and be realistic. If you don't jog now, but you want to, that's not a good reason to get an active dog because you're probably not going to completely change your lifestyle just because you get a good dog. So thanks so much for joining me today. So yeah, this is day 1 of 10 things to know, think about before you get a puppy. So first one, think carefully about what breed or mix you're going to get. So have an idea of if you want a purebred dog, great. Well-bred is more important than purebred. So we're clear there, but have an idea of what breeds you want to go for, what breeds you want to avoid. I didn't even talk about all the terriers. So yeah, Jack Russell Terriers, Yorkshire Terriers, all the little dogs, dachshunds that were bred to hunt rodents in, holes in the ground. Those dogs are really high energy and they love to dig. So think about these things before you choose a breed and before you choose an individual. It looks like I need to go see what Ziva's barking at. So thanks so much for joining me. I will be in sometime tomorrow talking about the next thing in the list of 10 you need to know. We're going to talk about where to get a puppy. So we'll dive more into how to find what you're looking for. So everybody have a very happy Wednesday and I will see you tomorrow.